Hello friends, welcome to our video on the .NET C# programming, and today we are going to learn func, action and predicate delegates in C#. So in one of our video we gone through delegates, and what are delegates are? Delegates are simply a function pointers that can call any function that matches with the signature of the delegates, like the return type, the number of parameters and the type of the parameters. So we will, in this video we will go through func, action and predicates. So let's start the PPT first, and in the meantime we will also navigate to the code demo so that you can have a short view of what are the three things that we are going to mention here, that is func, action and predicates. In this video we will go through func, action and predicate delegates. So what is func and action? So func and action I have already explained. These are the delegates, and these are delegates that are defined by .NET itself. That means you don't need to define your own delegates, and .NET provides some delegates with the certain criteria. So it was introduced in C# 3.0, and first I will go through func. So func is a generic delegate included in the system namespace. It has 0 or more input parameters and 1 output parameter. That means it can provide 1 to 16 input parameter, but there would be one output parameter. There would be one output function that matches with the delegates. The last parameter is considered as an output parameter. So in this diagram we will go through. So this is the delegate definition, and this is the generic delegate definition having func. So this is the access modifier, this is the delegate keyword, t result, type of return value, that result, func, this is the inside delegate, the parameter, and one into two, out, result, type of the first parameter and type of the second parameter. So let's switch off to .NET video. So I have already created one program that is func, action and predicate. So for your demo, so since we are going through first through func, so I will keep only the func code here, and everything else will be commented out. So this is the, yeah, we can also do this. So console dot readline. So well, so this is main, right? And we have one func delegate here having integer as an input, integer as second input, and integer as a output. Remember that in the func delegate the last parameter is always the output. And we have one, that name of this delegate is add, and we are assigning as a sum. And where is sum defined? Sum has been defined here. Remember, it is able to call this sum method because the definition of the delegates and the parameter is same. So it is passing 10 10, so it will result output as a 20. So you can see on the console window it is returning as a 20. So this is the func delegate, right? So let me start it again. So let's go through the important points regarding func. Func is a built-in delegate type that is defined by .NET. Func delegate type must return a value that is the last parameter that have the delegate. Func delegate type can have 0 to 16 input parameter. That means any function that have input parameter count is 1 to 16 can call func parameter having one output. Func delegate does not allow ref and out parameters. So func delegate does not allow ref and out parameters inside their definition. So the next term that comes through this uh, in this video is that is action. What is action delegates? Again, the action delegate is defined in the system namespace. That means it is defined by .NET framework itself. An action type delegate is same as a func delegate, except that the action delegate doesn't return a value. So it as the statement defines that it is just same as a func delegate. That means it is defined by .NET. It has input parameter, but the basic difference is that func delegate returns a value while action delegate doesn't return the value. In other words, an action delegate can be used with a method that had a void return type, right? So let's move to Visual Studio and see the so we have done with the func parameter demo, so we can delete this. Now we are coming with the action parameter. So this is your action. I'm just uncommenting the code, and this is action. So what is it is doing? It is the action. This is the action delegate, and it has one parameter input. Remember that action delegate doesn't return a value, and the delegate name is a print action delete, and we are assigning as a console print. That means we have a define, and that matches with the and print action delegate. And that means it will print on the screen the integer we are passing as a parameter. So for better readability, I will put, so it will press 10 on the screen, you can see. So as explained, action and func delegates are same. The only difference is that you have one return type in func delegate, while action delegate returns void. That means it returns nothing. So points to remember: action delegate is same as func delegate, except that it does not return anything. Return type must be void. Action delegate can have 1 to 16 input parameters, and action delegate can be used with anonymous methods or lambda expression. That means we already know that the best use of the delegate is called the anonymous method. So since action and func are also delegates, that means we can also call anonymous methods through these delegates. Next term comes that are predicates. Again, predicate is the .NET defined delegate, and it represents a method that contains set of criteria and checks whether the passed parameter meets those criteria or not. That means predicates are mostly used to to for the function that have return as a boolean, and they only take one parameter. So let's move to Visual Studio and see how the predicate comes. So I'm just removing it. So this is the predicate, and this is this, right? So what it is doing, this function is doing, this has the one predicate delegate, and it is just taking a string is upper means the name of the delegate, and it is taking as one parameter that of string type. If this is the function, and we are passing the parameter, and it checks that whether the string is in the capital letters or the small letters. That means is upper, whatever we are passing here, it is just checking the result whether this is small letter or the capital letter at all. That means it is just taking one parameter and turning the boolean type. So whenever you have the one input parameter and you want to check the condition that may return boolean result, then predicates are the best choice. So in this case it will call false, right? So let me put console.readline. So in this case it will be written false, right? But if I will write in the capital letters, it will return true. That means it is just checking some specific criteria, that is upper, and returning the boolean result either true or false. So let's move to our slide. We have gone through all the things. So friends, let's summarize these three topics: func, predicates, as well as the actions. So all of these are the .NET defined predicates. These are defined in the system namespace of .NET framework, and func and action are just same delegates, having one major difference, that action does not return any result. That means it returns void, while func returns one result, one output. That is the major difference between func and action. While predicates are generally used to check some conditions, and it takes one or two parameters or number of parameters, but return only boolean or boolean values, that means true and false values. So these are the generic delegates provided in the .NET framework, right? So we have one our channel, that is Code Virtual. You can subscribe this Code Virtual channel. You can like our videos. You can put your comments, and we will go through your comments and will provide you the best answer at all. Thank you.